Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is David once again from WEAREGROWTHHACK, and today I'm here again with my friend Regina. Welcome to our channel. How you doing?
Oh, great to be here again, David. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here once again. So, as we were discussing 5 minutes ago before we started the recording, we had another conversation a couple of months ago regarding chatbot, but now this is not allowed anymore. So, guys, don't
No, no,
don't watch
do
that
not
video.
listen to my advice from 6 months ago.
Exactly. Don't watch the video. The link will be up here somewhere, but don't click on this video. Okay, so don't do that, and, and absolutely don't follow our advice that we gave 1 year ago about Pixelfy and how to rank your product. Don't do that because this goes against Amazon TOS. So don't do it. The link will be also here, but don't click on it. Okay, don't do that. So jokes apart, Regina, it's very good to have you here. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Melbourne, Australia, known as, the world's most locked down city, although we're now out of that. But we actually hold world record, 260 something days of lockdown. So,
Oh
but
my
we're out,
God.
summer's here, we're out and about, life is good. So,
Oh, so I guess you guys must be super happy to be back to real life right now, able to go out and yeah, I can't complain because I'm still here in Phuket. I just want to show you guys my garden here.
oh,
Uh,
beautiful.
I'm not bragging,
But you're bragging.
so I'm just covering it because I don't want to give you guys the headache of looking at my garden with my swimming pool. So
Well, I think that I'm not sure whether we're able to come to Phuket, but you might find me in your garden in your swimming pool very soon.
you're welcome. We have a barbecue here. Feel free to light it up and start cooking the chicken.
Oh, no, you're going to be doing the cooking, not me.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna ask some of my team members, the team leader to do it for me. So Regina, so we discovered that you're recently working with Fortunette. That is actually a company that is helping sellers to groom their Amazon business, to evaluate it even more, and to avoid those kind of mistakes that or those kind of hiccups that happen also to you during your path. So tell us about Fortunette and who you guys are, what you're doing, and how you can help
Yes,
sellers.
yes. Perfect. So let me tell you how I got to be there. As we were saying, before we jumped on this call, about 3 years ago, I was wanting to sell my brand. And, I put it in the hands of a reputable broker who unfortunately did not do a great job. Um, and I figure I lost at least $1 million in that time and unfortunately Fortunette was not around then. And so, I'm very passionate about making sure that Amazon sellers, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into these businesses, that when we choose to exit, that we get the maximum possible value back for our hard work. And so when Fortunette approached me to come and join them, it was a match made in heaven, because the process that Fortunette has really does maximize an exit. And the figures that we've been able to show is at least 30 to 50% more in terms of offers than if the brands had gone directly to an aggregator or via a broker. So
that's amazing.
That's what we do. How we do it, we would put it through sort of like the same process as a merchant bank would. We consider ourselves as a merchant bank. So what we do is, we have a 3-step process. So number one, the numbers, so we do what we call a smart P&L, in conjunction with your accountant. We don't create accounts. So we expect you to have an accountant to make sure that the figures are right. But we look at some add backs that perhaps a normal business accountant wouldn't have. So we create a smart P&L to make sure, every single penny that we can put into that profit and loss statement is in there. And that can include things like if you had to fly some things by air as opposed to put them on a ship, which a buyer wouldn't do. So we would look at, the difference in the fees and the costs of that. A lot of your startup costs and things that, again, the buyer is not going to have. We look at possibly putting some of that stuff back in. So, our team, is very thorough and making sure that absolutely everything that's possible to add back, we do. And we have obviously disclose that to the buyers. So that's number one, is a smart P&L. Number two, we do a full pitch deck on your brand. So we don't just send our buyers to your Amazon link, right? We do a full 40 or 50 page pitch deck on the history of the brand, where it sits, how it looks, what the opportunities are, to present it in the best way possible. Again, like a merchant bank would when they're selling a business. And then number three, we actually we have a competitive process of buyers. So we have, a very large list of potential buyers, and we will, send out, when everything's all ready, we will send out the offering to the buyers who we think would be interested in your brand. And we put it out into like almost a competitive auction site. So we ask them to make their best offer. And then the top couple, we will start negotiating with on your behalf. And through this 3-step process, as I said, we are able to get a much better exit, both upfront and pay out if necessary. But, we obviously try and get as much upfront as possible for your brand. So that's what Fortunette does. We're not an aggregator. And we deal, we will often work with a lot of the aggregators. They're all on our list. They love and hate us in equal measure.
Definitely. They love and they hate you. I was right now, right before this call, I was having another call with one of my friends. And he also sold his business. Selling your Amazon business now is the new trend. And
there's so much money around and so many buyers. So it's a perfect time to sell your business.
Yeah. And as we were saying, this is becoming a game for big players, because as Amazon becomes more and more competitive, if you don't scale, you're going to die. So you want to exit at the right time, and the right time might be a year ago, if you know what I mean.
No, actually, you know what? I think the right time is now, Q1, Q2 next year, because there's so much money. The aggregators have got cash. They've been raising money, and they have to spend it. They can't sit on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Their remit is they have to spend the money. So, they're out there and they're bidding. Obviously, for them, they want to talk to you directly, because they don't want us to come in between, because they're going to get a much better deal if they buy from you.
Yeah, okay? Yeah, of course.
On the other hand, they actually do like us, because the brands that we represent, we do a lot of the due diligence before it hits the aggregator's desk. So even though they're going to pay more for the brand through us, they're actually able to acquire them faster, because we've done a lot of the due diligence. So the deals tend to be done a lot faster when we are involved, because we do a lot of that preparation work before we put the brands to market.
Yeah, what I see is actually you guys, or the services like FORTUNET, are here to fill a big gap between the aggregator itself and the seller, because the seller is an entrepreneur, is a person that looks at the number in a different way from the aggregator, that might not actually be coming from an e-commerce perspective, because many of them are actually coming from finance, banking perspective. So this is where someone like you gets in, and you actually have both of the two worlds, and you can actually help the seller get a better deal, and help the buyer get a better business. So because the seller doesn't want to sell, the seller doesn't want to devaluate his business, and the buyer doesn't want to buy something that he doesn't understand or doesn't understand the potential of, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, absolutely. As I said, it's a love-hate relationship. And they do love us, because we only represent brands that we think we can actually, sell for a really nice multiple. It's a two-way street. So we do a lot of vetting, and our deals tend to go through really fast and beautiful.
So what is your actual role for Fortunette? You're based in Australia. Are they actively, developing their business in Australia, or are you helping them with the global side of the business?
Look, we are now a really nice team. So me personally, my title is Regional Manager for Australia and New Zealand. So I'm talking to sellers Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, like, because of time zones, it makes sense for me to deal with the Asian sector.
Yeah.
However, well, I do talk to sellers all over the world. On our team, we also have Baptiste Porzier, who and Baptiste is dealing a lot with the European sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Jennings is in the UK. Jake is in the US, and he comes from actually an aggregator side. So we've got a really nice, customer-facing team who are, come from both Amazon seller side and aggregator side. And, we deal with the sellers to help explain what we do, look at their brands, give them advice, and help onboard them. And then we have got a team of 40 people who are dedicated, to this whole process. Plus, of course, one of our partners is also Yale Kaberle, who has, the law firm. So we have a very strong legal side as well. And then we have a whole M&A, mergers and acquisitions team that when the brand is ready to go, they take over and they deal with, with the buyers and the negotiating side. So, we do the whole thing. And then the best part is we don't charge anything for our service until the brand is sold.
Definitely.
So everything we do, like real estate agents, we charge a fee, a success fee. So, of course, it's in our best interest to make sure that everything is done and then you get the most money because, we charge a commission on the sale.
Yeah, when the deal is sealed and everyone is happy. So
correct.
How does it actually work? Let's say I'm an Amazon seller and I contact you and I want you to look at my business. And what do you need? How does it work? Do you have a step-by-step process, a little bit more details so sellers here know what to expect if they would get in touch with you?
Yeah, so the first thing, we would jump on a discovery call, get a feel for your business, for your brand, what you're wanting to accomplish, the size, the number of SKUs, where you sit in the market, explain our process, explain our fees, how it all works, sign some documentation if you're happy to go ahead. And once that's done, then we would do a kickoff call with a larger member of our team. So to have a bit more of a look at your brand, have some of our team give advice on what you could do to make it better. The accounting team would tell you, what you need to know and what we need from you in order to do that smart P&L. So yes, it is a bit of a process, but initially, it's literally a phone call, a Zoom call, a coffee, a lunch, drinks, whatever it is, just really to get to know the seller. And, we don't do anything until the seller is ready. And we have some sellers who come to us and say, look, I don't want to sell for another 12 months. I've got things to do. We say, great. So we still will take them on and we get them signed up. And then we actually, start the process 6-12 months in advance and hold their hand and help, advise them as they need it through that whole process. So when they are ready to sell, we can move very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whole process can take a couple of months, to do the P&L and the presentation. So if you know that you're going to sell in, even 6, even 12 months, contact us so that we can have everything ready to go. So that when you are ready, it's a very fast, switch of the button. Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense. You got to plan ahead. I guess it definitely makes sense. Like at least 6 months in advance, or even 1 year before, and you need to,
up to about a year. Get in touch. I mean, I know a lot of people are building brands to sell. So even if you're just starting to do that and you want to sell your brand, get in touch with us. So that you're on our list and we can start talking with you in advance.
Yeah, and you could get some advice into this, Yeah, definitely not.
It's not going to hurt, and it's not going to cost you anything. To
exactly.
Be in touch with.
So you will have a optimization of some of the processes, and your accounting, or at least what you should look at, and you're not paying for anything. And this is amazing. This is gold. I wanted to ask you one thing here. Yeah. Okay. So what are right now the product categories that you see going, the most for, that aggregators are mostly interested in? What would you say here? Yeah.
Good question. We actually, I don't know if you've seen, David, but in October, we released a survey that we did of some of our buyers. And it was really interesting. And I'll give you the link that people can download that
Yeah,
themselves.
we can definitely put it in the comment section.
So we actually interviewed 42 aggregators to sort of ask those exact questions. And some of the answers may actually surprise some people who are watching this. So your first question is what sort of categories they're looking for. The most popular categories that they're looking for, pet supplies, home and garden, baby products, but not clothes, outdoors, health and personal care, tools, beauty, sports, pretty much any of those categories.
Makes sense. Yeah.
They're not really, they don't really want to touch clothes. They don't want to touch electronics. Supplements is not really that popular, although there are some buyers in the supplement space. Definitely, fashion, not so much. But definitely, home garden, kitchen, pet supplies, baby, your top categories.
Stay away from electronics, right?
Stay away from electronics, stay away from clothes,
Yeah. I know that's a recurring thing that I hear from the aggregators actually. And it makes sense. The electronics is where you get most of the competition, most of the troubles, most of the returns. So you want to stay away from the category. And fashion, it goes, fashion, it just comes and goes. So it's not really sustainable for the long term. It's actually very hard to sell on Amazon. It's a matter of price, of brand
returns, and also, aggregators want a product that they can take over, that's not seasonal, that it's year round, that it's just, a nice consumer product that just sells, that they don't have to do a lot, that they can, improve, they can use their economies of scale that they have built in. Mm-hmm. And basically just, take the profit to get their money back.
Yeah, definitely. That's all about it. Profit.
That's it. Basically, they're buying their profit in advance. That's what they're paying for.
So tell us about your experience with Fortunette, but also your experience as a, Amazon consultant, as an entrepreneur. Keeping in mind that, some of the people who are listening to this video right now, they might be interested in selling their business. So tell us a few advices, really actionable advices and simple things that they should implement in order to optimize their business on Amazon to make it more appealing to an aggregator.
Okay, that's a good question. Look, one of the most interesting things that came out of that survey is that some of the things that we as sellers tend to focus on because, somebody told us or we saw some guru selling something, that we need to go out and start diversifying. Okay. So, if you're running your Amazon business and you decide to open a Shopify store, okay, you need to decide why you want to do that. Okay. If your goal is purely to sell your business, then really spending your time, money, and energy on opening a Shopify store is not worth it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you're looking to build your business long term and you want to build up a customer base, then yes, absolutely. However, one of the things that came out of the survey is, outside other channels, unless they form a significant part of your sales, are not worth your time. Okay. The same with social media. It's great to have social media. It's great for brand presence. However, look at where you're focusing your time and your money. So again, unless you're driving a significant amount of traffic and profit from your social media, don't waste your time on it. Okay. Focus your energy on driving Amazon sales.
I love this advice. I really love it. And you know why? Because finally someone is breaking this myth. I love to break myth. I love to break, unfortunately, the dreams of people, but we got to stay with our feet on the ground. And I'm the first person to say, for example, that you cannot start an Amazon business today, 2021, 2022, with $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 US. No, you need to hire people. You need to have SOPs. You need to buy your stock. You need to buy the second round of stock because the first is going to fail. And also you need to focus. Money is time. Time is money. Focus, same thing. So you need to focus your energies and your work in what actually gives you that profit, because eventually we're here to make money. We're here to talk business. We're not here to just, I'm so good at social media. So definitely, I have a friend actually who told me the exact same thing. don't do Shopify, especially if you want to sell your Amazon business, if your Shopify is not that great. And I agree.
You can do Shopify. Look, I have a Shopify. I don't sell anything through it. You want to have a presence. So build a really simple website. Definitely. Because people will be going out Googling your brand. So you do want to have a brand presence, but don't spend the energy, don't drive traffic to it. Have the buttons go straight back to Amazon if people are buying. That's the simplest way. As you said, it's always, I always look at what is your fastest path to profit.
Yeah.
Okay. And with Amazon sellers, 50% or more of their profit will actually be when they sell their business. Okay. So take a look at what can you do to simplify your business. Also, the other thing, don't have 200 SKUs. Okay.
Yeah.
Aggregators, a nice tight SKU mix for your brand is really important. Also, IP. Make sure that your IP is protected. That actually does have value. It's worth spending money on things that will add value. And IP is one of those things that will add value.
Definitely.
Okay?
So stream your energies into what works, into what actually gives you profit, gives you benefit in the long term. For example, social media, let's get back at that. There is a lot of a lot of people advising always be present on social media, even if it doesn't work. I would say yes. If it doesn't work, don't waste too much time on that. Also, because we know how complicated it is right now to, pull all the strings, and you need a person dedicated on that,
If you can afford to pay somebody who'll look after it and it's not going to eat too much into your profits. And again, it depends on your brand. And I've always said, if you're going to do social media, pick one. Don't do all of them. Find out where your audience is. If you sell to grandmothers, okay, don't go on TikTok, right?
Definitely.
If you sell to teenagers, don't go on Facebook.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Find, where does your audience live? If you're gonna do social media at all, find the one platform where your audience lives. Either do it yourself or pay somebody who knows what they're doing to do that in order to increase your presence and drive traffic. And again, drive that traffic back to Amazon.
Yeah, talking about that, I think it was yesterday, I posted something on my news feed that I see Amazon that will allow display ads to be shown on Twitch TV. And this is something new, and this is something really incredible. And I remember someone commenting, like, oh yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good, because if you talk to that particular audience, it's gonna be okay. And anyway, gamers don't like advertising. Now, I want to say, first of all, you have a very targetized audience there. So you know that you're talking to gamers, assuming that it's only about gamers, but it's not only about gamers. And I believe that Twitch is going to grow just because it belongs to Amazon. So if they want to make it grow, they will make it grow eventually. We know how it works. So we know who we're talking with. Exactly. He will do it. Don't worry. So I think it will not be only gamers, but listen to this. I don't think that there is any category of users in this world who really hates advertising, because let's say I'm advertising, I don't know, like glasses or food. That doesn't make sense. But if you advertise their favorite gamer's keyboard or, gaming mouse pad, 50% off, who's not going to click on that advertising? Of course. So it doesn't make sense. Find your target niche and where they actually spend their time. And this is exactly the same thing you were saying. So try to focus, try to understand where your buyer avatar, where your customer stays.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's just, branding 101. You've got to know before you even get your product, find out who your customer is, where do they live, like not literally where do they live, where do they live online, where do they spend their time online? Because that's what's happening now. We live online. So you find out where online those customers live, what are their habits, what do they want, and then find the products to sell them. Not the other. We don't start with product first anymore. We start with audience first, right?
Definitely. This is a great advice. I think this is really cool. Also because it's coming from someone who's actually helping you to add value to your business, to groom your business, to show it in better numbers, in a better way, in a better structure. And, so these advices are really, really good, whether you're just starting on Amazon, whether you're already out there. Once again, guys, we're giving advices not to huge corporates or huge companies here, because if you're a huge company, you need to have your social media department, not just one VA. But if you're just an Amazon seller who just started, and you have like 10 to 20 people in your team, and you have this nice spot between 7 to 20 or 30 SKUs in your inventory, then we're talking to you. And this is pretty much where most of the sellers are right now, and having a potential of selling a business for some nice numbers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The numbers have never been better. Every day that there's something new coming out. There was something just last week, and I can't remember if it was TechCrunch or somewhere, that basically said that the multiples now are almost double what they were a year ago.
Yeah.
You saw that article? Yeah.
I remember seeing this. Yeah. And also remember reading somewhere in someone's post on Facebook. So we are really living in exciting times when it comes to Amazon FBA.
Very exciting. Let me just explain what I mean when I say multiples, because some people may not know. So seriously, when you do your numbers, what's called the SDE, or seller's discretionary earnings, which is the profit after all of the business expenses, done as I explained before, there's a number. So that's your profit number. So the multiple that somebody will pay, or the amount that somebody will pay, is a multiple of that number. So it used to be, 2, 2.5, maybe if you had a really great brand, maybe 3 times you would get your SDE. These days we're seeing 5, 6, 7 even for certain brands. It's just incredible. So again, if you are in any way considering selling your brand, now is like the best time.
Yeah. Does it depend a lot on the category or on the business itself?
Yeah, look, it depends. Like every business is different. And, obviously we can't guarantee. We can't even guess what it might be, because it's only when we go to market that we will know. However, what we can almost guarantee is whatever you can get on your own, we can do better through our process. And we will get you the best possible price that is available at the given time for your brand. And yes, it does vary, and it depends on whether the brand is growing, because that's the other thing I forgot to mention is, if your brand is starting to decline, it may be too late. You really want to sell your brand when it is growing. You want to be able to show month on month and certainly year on year growth of your brand. That's the optimum time to sell. And I know, and I've been caught out with this myself, that sellers go, oh, look, I'll just keep it for a bit longer and keep the profit. And then it may be too late because sales start coming down. Brands do have a cycle, right? So you want to, before it turns, you want to absolutely sell on its way up. You may be giving up some of the long-term profit, but again, we're doing deals at the moment where you can have an earn-out, so that if next year the brand makes more profit than it did this year, in your contract, you can take a percentage of that additional profit. So, there are those sorts of deals being done at the moment, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Can you tell us, maybe some nice case study of a seller of an Amazon business that you actually took at some point and they were frustrated because they couldn't get a good evaluation, because they knew that their business was worth way more than what they got from the aggregators from the initial offering, and then you were actually able to turn these and to increase the multiples? Do you have any case studies, any examples?
I personally don't, to be honest, because I've only been with Fortunette for about 3-4 months now. However, Yael, she tells stories of that all the time, where we've had sellers. I mean, I'm dealing with a seller now where he's already had an offer of 3.5x of multiple from an aggregator. And, we think we can get him considerably more. He's got a lovely little brand. And we've certainly done that in the past, where, people have come to us with offers and they've said, here's an offer that I've got. And we've said, okay, let us have a go. And we've been able to get, as I said, between 30 and 50% more than what that offer is. And as I said, I'm dealing with a seller now in Malaysia who has an offer on the table, and he's very, he's given us the trust to have a go because we think we can get him more. And in a couple of months, I'll let you know what happened.
Definitely.
But historically, yes, we have absolutely been able to do that. And I think our marketing team is right now, as we speak, interviewing sellers for testimonials for our website. So watch this space.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch. Before we wrap up, Regina, as we are approaching the end of the year, what do you think is going to happen on Amazon when it comes to Amazon selling FBA in 2022? What is your prediction for the next year?
Oh, look, you want me to get my crystal ball out?
Well, yeah.
Today, Amazon was down, so hopefully there'll be, look, I think the same way, we're all hoping that the logistics things will improve. And we have been seeing on some seller accounts now the inventory limits are being increased a little bit. That's been the bane of our businesses. This year, the international freight costs have been horrendous. So we're thinking that certainly after Chinese New Year that'll start to improve. It's already starting to improve a little bit. The ports have been clogged, so hopefully that'll get unclogged. But other than that, Amazon is still growing. Every year people say it's too late to start selling on Amazon. And every year I say, no, it's not too late, but you have to be a little bit smarter. The days of somebody coming in and grabbing any old product, sticking their brand on it and making $100,000 a month, those days are well and truly over.
Yeah, that's gone.
You've got to, build a brand, build a business, look at your niche, and be smart, and also understand that you are going to have to invest your energy, your time, and your money to make it work. Having said that, we're working with a seller at the moment who started her brand less than a year ago, and she's going to have a multi-million-dollar exit, because she did those things. She found a niche, she invented the products, she did some brilliant branding, and she was able to ramp up, and she had cash to ramp it up fast. So, it's possible to do in 12 to 18 months, have a multi-million-dollar exit if you're smart about it.
That's amazing. So I think we gave a lot of nice advices here, and what's left, only getting in touch with Regina if you're interested in, just having a talking about your business, seeing what you could improve, and who knows, maybe she will find the right buyer for your business. So
our team, I personally don't find the buyers, but
okay.
Certainly
she will help you.
I'm more than happy to have, and in fact, anybody in our team, Mark, Baptiste, Jake, myself, we're all happy to take a confidential, obligation-free conversation with you to chat about your brand.
Amazing. So we will leave the contact information down below, the link to FORTUNET. Guys, go and check it out. See in the description. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe, like this video, contact us, check the other videos that you're not supposed to check. Yeah, so this was amazing. Thank you for being here, Regina, and I'll see you next time.
It's always fun. Thanks, David.
Thank you.